Welcome back to Great Day. Have you ever wondered how utilities like natural gas make it to your house? It's an elaborate infrastructure of arteries that help homes and businesses connect to utilities for heating and cooking. They aren't too far beneath our feet. That's why it's so important to call before you dig. Sean Guillory, president of Shell Pipeline, shared how quickly you can start getting things done safely. Sean, your mechanical engineering degree, you spent time in the United States military, and so you've dealt with all types of things that could turn on a dime in the atmosphere of the theater that you always worked in.
Yeah, Deborah, I mean, when you're in the military, you're already dealing with the difficulties of what's happening in the day, but then something new comes and changing conditions come, and you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready for whatever comes your way, and through preparation, you get there, but then it just changes a moment's notice. And so this is why it's so important for what we're about to talk about today, because the 811 program is a bit like that.
Yeah. And what led you into the energy field after coming out of the military?
Oh, it just seemed like a natural progression. But what I really liked about energy is it moves everything.
Yeah.
Globally, you see it now in the current economic environment. You see what's happening in the news. Energy, energy, energy. And so being part of something big like this and something that moves the global environment was just something that was very intriguing.
Everybody understands. All right, so we're looking at the logo on your shirt, and a lot of people say, oh yes, I go get my gasoline there. We're not talking about that part.
Yes. We're not so much talking about that. We're talking about the 811 program and being able to ensure that. Yeah, exactly.
So many people have no idea what is right underneath our feet.
No, they don't. And here at Shell and the business that I run, Shell Midstream, Shell Pipeline, we have a large amount of pipelines underneath the ground. But if you just look at the entire United States of America, it's probably millions. It's a big spaghetti bowl of everything. And it's not just gasoline and crude, it's water, it's utilities, electrical, all these different things that help run our economy. And we want to ensure that those type of things aren't disrupted and that people stay safe, especially while they're digging.
Yeah, and a lot of people will be digging if a storm comes through. Oftentimes we have the fences knocked down, mailboxes, all kinds of stuff is knocked down. And so people want to dig and replant trees and things like that. But that can happen on any given day as well. I just had a neighbor the other day say they're replacing their mailbox. And I said, you probably want to call before you dig. And she goes, oh, we're not digging that deep. It doesn't always have to be that deep. So when we say call before you dig, what do we mean? How easy is that? How long are we waiting?
No, and I'm glad you gave her that advice, because what we're talking about is a very simple program. It's either dial 811 or you go to 811texas.org, and as soon as that call goes in, it goes into a state call center, and then that call center within 48 hours will send a trained professional to come out, very much looking like me without the logo, but to come out and actually mark different areas so that you can ensure that, not just to make sure to keep you safe, but also so you don't disrupt utilities. Because you can imagine, you knock out somebody's water, but even more importantly, their data.
You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be that person.
Yeah. So there's like, we'll see sometimes where we're driving along and we'll see like little spikes with little colored flags on them. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. So you'll see blue for water, you may see green for sewage, you'll see red for electrical, and those are the different types that we're talking about. So you may see it as you're walking around, but once those are marked, you'll know where to dig, where not to dig.
Yeah.
And you'll ensure that you're ensuring that you don't disrupt things, as I just mentioned.
And it can be an inconvenience, but it also can be a safety situation.
Oh, absolutely safety, and that's why I started with the safety aspects of it, because imagine hitting an electrical line or hitting something like a gas line. You don't want for that to happen. And as you said earlier, it's not about it being very, very deep in the ground. It could be just right underneath. So even if you're putting in a fence post, make sure you call 811.
Yeah, all right, so fence post is one of the things. The mailbox I mentioned, obviously plants, right?
Yeah.
Some other things, and also can you always rely on, if you're getting a contractor or somebody to put your stuff up, that they're making those right phone calls?
No, you can't. And so you want to be the one who take control of that and call beforehand and ensure that you're in sync with the contractor, because you want to help them also as they're doing that work.
Yeah. What are some of the other things that you all are doing as a company to prepare for hurricane season?
Well, hurricane season starts June 1st, and so this is why I think the last 13 years we've partnered with KHOU, so thank you very much for continuing that partnership and ensure that hurricane season, we're solidifying and putting everything in place. We pride ourselves, not just the preparation, but also the emergency management afterwards. So we're ensuring that we have things in place, generators, all sorts of things that we could continue to move energy and the crude flows and the refined product flows that America needs, but then ensuring our people are safe too. So we have our helicopters are ready for standby. If we have people on platforms, to ensure that they're moved off of platforms in the Gulf and they're in safe conditions. And then afterwards, being ready to respond with people, because we want people to call 811 and not start work so that we can respond to those things also.
Yeah, prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Absolutely.
Sean,
absolutely.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate being here.
Please be patient and call 811 before performing any excavation or digging. Remember, you'll get an answer fairly quickly. Visit texas811.org for more detailed information.